Do this on go around, but that's perfect. Do like an opening highlight, or like a highlight of 2024, or one thing that they're like really looking forward to implementing. Sure. Yeah. Do it quickly. Oh, icebreaker? Yeah.
Live stream.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Daryl, and do we have Sylvie?
I believe she will be logging in shortly.
Okay, awesome. Welcome.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
It's great to be together.
Mhm.
All right, should we call the meeting to order? All right. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Before we get started approving past meeting minutes, maybe just since this is our first meeting of 2025, a little icebreaker. We can go around the room and say something either that you enjoyed from 2024, a fond memory, or something that you are looking forward to in the new year. So take your pick. Want to start?
Oh, sure. For the new year, I'm hoping to like be in more shows since I am in drama club. So
Oh,
I'm
fun.
currently working on Footloose. So.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Great. I'm Nikki. I'm looking forward to our beloved community walk on Saturday.
Yeah, I would, this is bit, this, I would say the theme of beloved community coming up in 2024, meeting Dr. John Scott, and then having the event to kick off in January is such a highlight for both years. And it's something that I really am feeling called to carry on more in 2024, like regular beloved community walks. So we'll see how that shapes up.
I'm Lonnie. Gosh, so many things that were great about 2024 and 2025. I'm just gonna get totally like about my family and my kids, and I've got my kids had some graduations last year from high school and college, and then my older son is graduating with his master's. So I'm
Just laugh.
right. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. Had a story that I wrote up 2 weeks ago, and it's been playing on Facebook and stuff for the last couple of days. And so people are out there seeing a lot of humor and stuff. And of course, so one of the things I did was had a picture, of course, and these are some examples. I talked to Tacoma about the same thing you're doing here. And so I could use any of these and still it would be mine because I'm going to adjust it. So I'll just pass this along.
Did you bring this book in for show and tell before?
No,
No. Okay. I feel like we had one that you had portraits.
I had some,
Okay. Yeah.
I've got a lot.
You got more. You got a bounty of them.
But anyways, that's what
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm Shauna. Thankful for all the opportunities I was given in 2024 to work with the community. Had some great times with my family as well, and I'm looking forward to having just as much fun in 2025.
I'm Phil. I had a great year. Everybody in my family is healthy and doing well, and the great grandchildren. It's hard to believe I have great grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
But they're all doing well. But probably a highlight for me was in September. They had in Seattle the first round the world flight that took off in 1924, and there were 4 Army airplanes that flew all the way around the world. They were biplanes. Only 2 made it all the way. But we had a big celebration in Seattle, and that was to commemorate the 100th anniversary of that event and being an ex-aviator. So I was involved with the event. It was exciting.
Awesome.
And I leave February for Mexico and sun.
You've got a good program going.
Let's see, 2024 was a good year, busy, and this year I
want to be less busy and stay at home more and um, I'm looking forward to more nature, more local.
Nancy, I am really looking forward to my 20-year-old stepson is graduating college in May, and he already has a job as a civil engineer in June. So super excited to see what comes next for him in life. So I'm very excited about
Oh,
that.
that is so cool.
And for him to move out.
And sporty.
And yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, my name is Emily, and I think we, over the holiday break, we booked our camping trips for the summer. So I'm really excited for the warm weather to come and get back out camping and all that. So travel in 2025. So yeah.
Good reminder, get your camping spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice to get it organized that far ahead. Good for you.
Oh, that's not me. That's all my husband. Cool.
Okay.
Oh, is it me?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, just a reminder that the Martin Luther King Junior Unity Breakfast at UWT is on January 18th at 8:30. If anybody's interested in going, it looks like a great program. And what I'm looking forward to in 2025 is working up the checklist for Lino Talia Pietra's permanent gallery for the Museum of Glass renovated gallery space. We're launching our capital campaign. So it's going to be exciting. So, lots to do. Thank
Good for
you.
you. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Well, 2024 was it was an interesting year for me. I think business wise, being featured in international magazines, British Vogue, World of Interiors, my business, that was such an incredible experience for me. And moving forward to 2025, I'm definitely going to be doing more focus on just like self-care and being more intentional about my self-care.
Thank you.
Great.
And congratulations.
Yeah.
Carol, do you want to go?
Sure, I can go. I'll start with 2024. 2024 was an amazing year. If I had to pick a few highlights, obviously one would be Fiesta de la Familia and all the wonderful participants, especially the equestrian event that joined the mariachi musicians. The Souls and Stories with Lori and Sylvie was a definite highlight, and I look forward to all the wonderful events that we have on plan for 2025.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sylvie, and definitely the highlight for 2024 was the Souls and Stories exhibit and just meeting all of those people that were in it and interviewing them and photographing them was really memorable and moving for me. And for 2025, I think I'm just up for some new adventures and probably exploring Washington more because we usually think about traveling outside of Washington, but just within our own Washington it's pretty amazing. All the different spots that we have just right here in our own state.
Thanks, Sylvie.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Here's to a new year. All right. So first order of business, do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our December 2nd meeting? Anyone had a chance to look those over?
More draft.
Yes.
No, that's someone else. Will be easily.
I motion to approve.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Meeting minutes are approved.
Gave us time to think.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our unfinished business. Is it, so Earl is not here. Is that okay? Okay, all right. So, we have, two positions up for election. Myself for the presidential or president of the Arts Commission. There hasn't been anybody else that has stepped up, but if you would like to, please feel free. This is incredibly awkward. But if no one else would like to step up.
So the chair, board chair, or commission chairperson.
If no one else would like to step up, is there a call for a motion to approve myself as the chair of the Arts Commission for 2025?
We just need a motion.
I motion to have you be our fabulous head of all things great.
And I'll second it.
Thank you, Phil. All right.
Thank you
all.
for doing it.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you all. And then for the vice presidential position, Earl is willing to step up and be the VP again, and nobody else has come forward. But if anybody would like to, now is the time to put your name in the ring if you would like. If not, we'll call a motion to approve Earl as the vice president. Vice chair.
I motion that we approve Earl as vice chair.
All right. Thank you, Phil.
I'll second.
Thank you, Daryl. All right.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. And thank you to Earl. Okay. So moving on to, it was a conversation we started at our meeting in December, about forming some subcommittees, for the Arts Commission. One of them about the gathering information and intel about, developing a arts collecting policy. City Council had wanted to purchase a piece of art, and so we were wanting to form a subcommittee around best practices for that, sort of putting together a policy and a plan. Second subcommittee, developing a plan for the plinths, rotating art on the plinths. Earl, who's not here, but thank you to Earl, he's done a lot of work already gathering research for that. But the subcommittee would be looking at, again, best practices, looking at what other cities have done, and further developing that. The third subcommittee, and this is something that Sylvie had brought up at our last meeting, community education, such as art in the park. So a committee formed around developing that, seeing what ideas come forward with that. Sylvie, I don't know if you wanted to say anything more about that.
Well, I recall that a couple of people had said they wanted to help with that. Do you remember? I think it was Susan, did you say something about that?
Well, I think that this is the time that we'll ask members, like,
Okay.
we'll decide what subcommittees we want to have,
Mm-hmm.
and then how many we can sustain with this group.
Okay.
So I think that's what we're thinking. And then I had one more that I thought of, which is Fiesta de la Familia. Typically, we've had just, Laura's on that team that meets. They start meeting right around now. And then Sylvie is on it. But I was, Mauricio has stepped down and he organized the art show. And I feel like as the Arts Commission, we may need to step in and be that committee that plans the art show. I really can't see anyone else doing that. And we would need to start now. Also, it's been really the same and very similar artists the last 2 years. So we're, So I feel like that's an established event and it's gonna keep happening. So to me, that's a very high priority subcommittee, where some of these others are adding more work to our plate, which is fine, or refining something that's on our work plan, like the plinths. So that's 4 subcommittees, and I think we need to decide how many, there's only so many of us and what's our bandwidth. So I think that's a dialogue we need to have right now. Of those 4 subcommittees, do we want all 4? Or do we just want 3 or 2 or 1? And then we'll do a show of hands of who wants to be on what subcommittee. I have to grab something off the printer, so you guys can have that.
Just because I'm new, does the subcommittees meet separately, I assume?
They do, yes. Subcommittees meet separately from our regular monthly meeting. So, and that's something that the subcommittee can agree upon. Yeah, cool.
I know if we do that, does that go on public record also? You have to coordinate it. Okay.
The subcommittee meetings? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they're very. Well, mostly because most of our subcommittees were quorum. So that required.
Okay.
What else can people get fired up about? We gotta be excited about our work in 2025. You can tell by the energy in the room. What do you love? What do you really want to pursue? We all just have so much time on our plates, so we really want to pick and choose and be enthusiastic about, and it's okay that we don't do everything all at once. So,
Yeah.
what can people get excited about?
I do think that the art in the park could be a really cool thing. I know that that would be a ton of work, but I think we could do it. And I was also thinking that kind of hand in hand with that, we wouldn't have to have everything in person. Maybe we could produce some videos with local artists or something. Something like that posted on Facebook or our website. I don't know how often that gets updated, but that could be something that could be looked into, kind of to kick it off, get it started, get some interest.
I love that idea. So you sound excited about just brainstorming, coming up with ideas.
I
Yeah.
like that too, the art in the park. That's
Yeah,
fun.
I think so, yeah.
Any excuse that I can get out and get to a park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's not raining.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And to just help the community learn about art and
Yeah.
different techniques. And I mean, even if it gets a little bit more crafty than artsy, I think that that would be good too.
Well, is Perico the artist starting in March?
He thinks in March.
Okay, so that could be like a cool kind of.
Mhm.
sort of
Yeah,
like
come watch a muralist.
Yeah.
Well, and I think since City Council has asked about purchasing a piece, we should probably focus on the collecting policy and that work. Maybe it's not necessarily like gets you jazzed and fired up, but since it was something they brought up, so I'd be happy to be on that subcommittee if anyone wanted to join.
Emily, I will. I have lots of examples of collection policies from the American Association of Museums, so I don't think it will be a great deal of work. We can cut and paste from
Perfect.
templates.
Yeah, I was gonna say, probably every city has one. And the nice thing about that is it supports the artist. So one artist this year could potentially, get paid for their art, which
Yeah.
is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy to gather some templates and then we can have a meeting, Emily.
Perfect.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay.
I'm all about the cutting and pasting.
Yes.
Can I get some clarification on the plinths?
Yeah,
Where are they? Are they outdoor?
they're outdoor.
Okay, so they're outdoor and then they would have sculptures or whatever.
Right.
Displayed on the.
Right,
Got it.
yeah.
Thank you.
So are you thinking you want to do all 4 subcommittees? Sounds like. Well, let's go around and see who signs up for each one and which one is naturally gonna get knocked off because there's not enough people. So we have 2 for the collecting policy. That might just be enough since it's a lot of cutting and pasting. I don't think you need more than 2 people. Do you, Susan?
No, it's quite easy.
Okay.
They-
Sounds.
And so before we go around, there's art in the park, then we have Fiesta de la Familia. That would involve really coming to those Fiesta meetings, which are really fun.
Yeah.
And leading the art jury art portion. And then the plinth. Okay, so the art in the park, we've got Nancy, Laura, anyone else want to be on that committee?
Sylvie
Sub-
and
Sylvie?
Sylvie, right?
I'd be interested if there's space,
If there's snacks.
if there's space.
Usually it's all about food.
I
Okay,
think there should be snacks.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's the fun thing about your own subcommittee. You can bring your own goodies.
Sure.
Okay, Shauna. Anyone else?
I don't need to be on the committee, but I'm happy to pass the committee names of artists and craftspeople and so forth.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're a great resource.
Amazing.
Okay, Susan will be the resource. Okay, and then Fiesta, we already have Laura because you're on the,
Yeah.
and Sylvie, we already have
Sylvie, yeah.
Sylvie.
I would be interested in being on that subcommittee.
Daryl, awesome,
Good.
awesome. Okay, that it? All right. And then the plinth. And again, we don't. Yeah, plinths. Anyone interested in plinth?
Well, Earl's not here, but I'm gonna gather that Earl.
You could join Earl.
The plans. Oh,
And I think that'll be the same thing. He's done so much work already. It's just really updating it. He did it like 4 years ago. I'm always hesitant to spend too much time on something we don't know if we'll get the money for, you know? It just seems like so much work. The plinths, not an easy thing, but we'll find out. So that's what it'll be for. Okay, so I'll just reiterate. So art in the park, we have Nancy, Laura, Sylvie, Shauna. Susan is a resource. For the collecting policy, we've got Emily and Susan. For the Fiesta, we have Laura, Sylvie, and Daryl. And for the plinth, we have Bill and Earl. And of course, Addie's not here and Lou is so busy. By the way, she voted for you.
Oh, okay.
She said, "What are you voting for?" And I said, "We're voting on how cool Lua Pritchard is." She laughed so hard. She laughed. Okay, that's so exciting. So then it's just like between Emily and Susan, you decide when you're gonna meet.
Okay.
And you have your own meetings. Fiesta's easy because I'll tie you into those meetings. And then Flint, same thing, Phil and Earl will decide when to meet and art in the park. So someone will probably need to take the lead on that in terms of organizing the meetings because there's 4 of you. So does Nancy, Laura, Sylvie, Shauna, who wants to be the producer of like kind of just saying, okay, we're gonna meet at this day and time and sending out the meeting notices and taking notes. And then someone can be a secretary.
Yeah, I can do it.
Nancy,
I'll do that, yeah. Jump right in.
Thanks.
is the lead.
I was supposed to do less.
And then at your first meeting, I'd assign someone to take notes.
Okay.
All right.
Do we have something for PR? Spreading the word on what's going on, what we can expect in 6 months, a year, or whatever, just. I don't know how many people are involved in going to live stuff during the week. I do most of my stuff at Tacoma. But we've got a number of friends that are in Rotary and stuff from Tacoma, and they're now in Lakewood. And so it'd be nice to get the word out to everybody that's
Just about the events we put on. Oh, yeah. So that's our communications department. Everything runs through Brian Grimley, who's the director of communications.
Oh, okay.
And we feature that information, like this is coming up, that one's coming up, the art show on Monday and so on. Yeah, so we aren't allowed, we don't have access to our social media or Facebook or anything. So she does all that. Or you write stories about it and get it published.
Yeah.
John's, you're our PR.
That's what I do.
I know, that's what you do. Thank you, I appreciate that. And you're good at it. Okay, good to know.
I have a question about that because he said, did you say you're part of the Rotary? Or
He said he had friends who are part of the group.
okay. Because that's maybe that doesn't have to, maybe we could still do that in that somebody could from one person from the committee could go to like a Rotary meeting and just give an announcement. You know how they allow people to come in and speak and give announcements, because that might be good because then they could get the word out too.
Mhm.
2 Rotary clubs and
Yeah. So the city manager is a member of the one that meets at the club. And we have several staff who are members of the other one, the Club of Park Rotary. I used to go around and talk a lot at those. It is good. It is good for getting the word out.
Yeah, that's a good, I go to the Lakewood Community Collaboration meetings every month too.
Oh, do
So I
you?
could always
Yeah,
mention
that's
that. I think it's next week or this Wednesday might be.
Or, taking our event postcards and
Yeah.
handing them out.
Yep,
That's really the best way because it has all our events
yep,
for the year. And it's a new thing that we start them in January.
yep, I can do that.
Perfect. So,
Cool.
All right. Any other questions or comments about subcommittees?
Yeah, I've got a quick question. I know in the past, Sally, you and I have had the conversation before, because at one point we did have a performing arts subcommittee to help with the concerts. And considering now that it looks like Stillicum is no longer going to have their concert in the park, that might give us an opportunity to kind of up our game with what we're doing. Is that something we'd consider doing again, or what are your thoughts on that?
yeah, thanks. So Stillicum is not having their farmers market or their concerts, which is huge. I have to have all the music selected by January, so it's done. I love having suggestions. So I definitely invite this group to give suggestions for 2026. And yeah, absolutely. And Daryl added the drumming. That was so cool, that drum circle. So there are things we can add. And maybe with this art in the park, it includes, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a paid band. It can be other forms of music and community music. Does that seem fair, Adriana?
Oh yeah, I was just throwing that out as just a topic of conversation. But I did get a lot of great feedback from people about the drum circle that Daryl that we did this last summer. And I think, yeah, incorporating other forms of art, like I think we were trying to do that summer of 2020. Of course, that all happened with like line dancing lessons or salsa lessons, things like that.
Oh, that would be such a big hit. It's definitely not too late to add things like that. And so that could be, well, to me, that's kind of could go along with the community education.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an event, right? An art focused event, music, art. What do you think?
Or you're asking me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely agree. Yeah, I think that would be great to incorporate.
Okay, so let's make a note to
For sure.
incorporate that. And thank you, Daryl, because Daryl did all the work on that himself. He did flyers and blah, blah, blah. Outreach.
Sally, I had a question on those events. Is there consideration for if we were to add one or two events? Would they be earlier in the season or perhaps later in the season? What I was thinking of was if we were to add an event that could incorporate the local high schools or junior highs or whatever, it would probably work better if it was later, coming at the tail end of the concert season as the students come back to school rather than earlier, because they would be thinking about, the end of school year and not being able to.
That's a really nice time, like the early fall, September, October.
That was something I thought about. Yes. So is that in consideration then as far as flexibility?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The weather can stay really nice. We just need to be mindful of sunset, right? It gets dark, starts getting dark earlier. And that's the only thing to take into consideration. But it still can be in the summer. It doesn't have to be on a farmer's market day. It can be another day. We do like to avoid the week of and after Summerfest. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds so fun.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, are we ready to move on? Okay. So just a couple of save the date reminders. Our lovely mugs and our tote bags. We have our beloved community welcome walk. That'll be this Saturday, January 11th. So the keynote speaker, Dr. John Scott, that will be from 11 to 11:50 in the pavilion. And then the event for the larger community will be 12 to 3. So hopefully everybody is able to make it.
Tell your friends.
And then following that, Monday, the 13th will be the reception for Rodney King, who's hanging his art right now. And so that'll be from 5 to 7 with, and I forget the name, there's a spoken word artist coming at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I can never pronounce her. I remember how to pronounce her name.
Okay.
Yeah, but 6 p.m. spoken word artist, and she's doing a special piece just on beloved community that she developed.
And attendance for that as Arts Commission members, highly encouraged. So please try to come if you're able. It's nice to be able to wear the name tags, introduce yourself to the folks that are there, let them know that you're from the commission, talk about the work that we do, another opportunity to talk about the work that we do.
And it is considered part of our MLK celebration, along with the Saturday's events.
Awesome. And then tonight is the MLK proclamation at City Council meeting at 7. And Kimmy will be accepting that, Kimmy Ginn. So if you're able to go and support, that would be great too. Okay. So the final piece of business for tonight is selecting our rotating artist for the second quarter for our series here at City Hall. So Sally had sent out a link or an email with a bunch of links to artists to consider. And then we also had one more to add to that, I believe.
Yeah, so thank you, Emily. I put together a PowerPoint because we had a couple more people reach out. And in the meantime, Diane Aoki, who facilitated our retreat, would like to do and is committed to third quarter. And we actually set reception dates. So Rodney King's so everyone can put this on your calendar. Rodney's obviously January 13th. Third quarter, Diane Aoki is September 15th. And then fourth quarter is the Pierce College Student Art Show. That's been confirmed October 20th. So those are all confirmed. What's left is second quarter. And so the artists we're looking at are, we'll just go through them and then we need to decide which one. So we'll start with, yeah, you can start with that. This is Kelly Loney, and she lives in Lakewood. She belongs to 3 arts organizations. She's completed a signal box for us. And she has public art in 10 cities and has done 6 public art exhibitions and has won some awards in those 3rd and 4th place awards. I couldn't get everyone's art, all of their art, so I just did a sampling. So you can get and we can go back through again at the end too, so you can keep going. The one on the right was also selected, so that'll be your second piece. That'll go up in 2025.
For the signal box.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's digital art. This is Carlos Lagos, who Sylvie recommended, and Daryl, thank you. So yeah. He's out of Tacoma. I couldn't find any social media. I couldn't find much on that. I think we do need to remember that we really rely on the artist to bring people in. But Sylvie and Daryl, he was part of the art on the Ave, right, Sylvie?
Yes. And he
but-
he just does website. He doesn't do social media, I think.
Do you have a feeling he has a lot of followers? A lot of fans?
I think he has a lot of friends that are supportive of him. His art is really fantastic in live form.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then this is Dr. Johnny Wow. Don brought in actual photographs, so we've seen this. Again, he's in Seattle, he's not on social media. I don't know, I don't know how many people he could bring in.
He's got a lot of people in Seattle area,
Right.
not so much down here,
Yeah.
although he lives up in just north of it.
Yeah.
But still in Pierce County.
So just something to consider. Yeah. And then this is Stephanie Broussard. Now, Sylvie, did you recommend her as well? Someone here recommended Stephanie. Or maybe Adriana? Adriana did. So she's out of Olympia, and her inspiration is nature. She goes on nature hikes, and then she's young. What's her name? Stephanie Broussard. We looked at her art a couple meetings ago. She had a lot of the mushrooms. We were looking at her website, so I gathered more of a variety of photos. We were looking at those on her website. I think that might jog your memory. Okay, so that's that group. And then if you go out, we have 2 more. Yeah, so this is Ron Pulliam, who Don again recommended. He's out of Tacoma. He does not have any social media. He doesn't have a following. He doesn't have any exhibits or local gallery things. He is a self-proclaimed introvert. And he paints using golden acrylics and stretch canvas frames. He's a realistic and impressionistic. I talked to him on the phone today. So yes, this is his work, which is good, and he would not be someone who could bring people to the venue. So that would be up to us to weigh those things. And then this is Swasil Art Studio. They're out of DuPont, and it's an art studio for people of all ages. She reached out to me last year. I said I'd love to have her in 2025. This was the beginning last year, and then she went off my radar screen completely. And then she reached out like 2 weeks ago, and it's like, so when can we? And I was like, okay, completely forgot, and it needs to be approved by the Arts Commission. But she had, so what they do is she actively pursued us, which I really like. We didn't have to go get her. And the art studio director is a Korean woman, very involved in the Korean Women's Association and Korean Washington Women's Art Association. And so very well networked. They can bring a lot of people to an event. And they can propose different themes. They did one like on the environment. And so these are some examples. So that second one is what is the theme on that? Oh, Earth. So that was environment one.
What would the date be of the second quarter? Sean?
The second quarter, we didn't decide
Oh.
because we don't have the artist yet, So those are just flyers from their other ones. So if you go back to, we can, so some of the theme.
So it's a group of students?
So
from
it's
her
all
studio.
ages.
Yeah,
So
like-
all ages, and all different, cultures. And so the themes they've explored are arts from hearts, at the Asian Counseling Treatment Services, Earth focused on environmental awareness, aspiring for a healthier, more peaceful planet. That's one they had wanted to do for us last year, Arts at the Garden. Music and art, that sounds like something we want to do in nature. So over 80 plus pieces exhibited at each event, featuring a wide range of artistic expressions. Each exhibit drew 300 plus visitors on opening night, fostering community connection and creative inspiration. And then they did some live performances, it looks like. Again, they put this together for me. I didn't, all the other people I've kind of had to go out and gather, which is fine too. That's fine too. So anything, oh, and then I think the last page talks about the director. Korean American Artists Association of Washington, Peninsula Art League. So obviously she's out and about. And then she's got some nice accomplishments.
Do they have a website that we could see the art? More of it?
Well, the thing is, it's developed by the students, so it's not, you know what I mean? It's not an art gallery. So, so they would pick a theme, or we would tell them the theme we want, and then the students would create the art. So, yeah, that's a little trickier.
On the page before that, there was a link to a video or their examples in that video. Do you know of their artworks that they've produced before?
Ooh,
Good catch.
I just assumed that was it then. Oh, cool.
I didn't calibrate it for your video. You guys might be able to hear.
Sally, a question on this. This is Susan speaking, but so if we were to say that
Susan,
we
we can't hear you right now. Sorry,
hello?
we can't hear you right now because there's music playing. Second.
Can you hear me now?
We're playing a video. I see it.
Oh, okay, okay. I can't see it, sorry.
guys see it now, the video?
No, I couldn't see it.
All right, sorry, you can go ahead, Susan.
I was just going to say, Sally, the question would be, so if they have a lot of students and we have a theme, is the director going to curate the choice of the checklist for the show? Because, accommodating, 80 different works of art, if a lot was submitted, it would need to be winnowed down. So it'd have to be curated before it got to us, right?
So are you saying like the students would create the art and she would select what art goes
Yeah,
with?
yeah, because we have limited space.
Yeah, she's aware of our space and they've done other shows, so she's got some formula for doing that. I mean, she doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, she sounds very qualified.
Mhm. Well, taking art out to the community is something that's really important to them, that they really,
Yeah,
like I said, they're looking to see where they can do it, where they can take the art, where they can,
That's
show kind of these emerging artists who aren't maybe professionals yet, right? Know their art. So, that's it. So now it's time to vote on who we want for second quarter. And then we'll go enjoy Rodney's art here. You might want to.
All right.
Emily, take it from
Make
here.
this official. Okay. So we had, remind me of
Okay.
Kelly.
Yeah, so let's go back through. We had Kelly Loney, and if
Oh.
you want to see their work one more time, let me know. Kelly Loney, Stephanie Broussard, Carlos Lagos, Ron Pulliam, and Johnny Wow.
And then the studio.
And in the HS studio.
All right. So for Kelly Loney, raise your hand. Okay. Stephanie Broussard.
She was very creative and, in the wintertime, it's kind of dark and things, but she was light and she had a lot of different varieties.
Yeah.
You could just kind of wander through the different pieces and enjoy yourself.
She was the younger one.
Too.
Yes. Yep.
Shit, shoot the mushroom.
Are we only voting once?
Well, we can go around. I mean, let's just see, let's see how it shakes out.
All right. So two.
I mean, you should be only voting once, technically, yes.
Carlos Lagos. Four.
So, wait, so name off who that was.
Susan, Sylvie, Daryl, and then I missed one.
Susan already voted. Susan, you already voted for Stephanie.
Oh, okay. I only get one vote. I thought we.
Yeah. Sorry. You could take Louis' vote.
Okay.
And also the high
I
school
thought-
student.
Okay. All right. So we have 3. That was who I missed. All right. Ron Pulliam. 1. Okay. Johnny Wow.
He's my man.
Are you voting twice? All right. And the HS. Oh, yeah, Susan?
I just wondered how many slots are we trying to fill here?
One. Just second
Oh,
quarter.
okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then the studio.
Well, can we only vote once?
I think we need to do another round.
So it looks like that was 5. So the top 3 are the studio, Carlos Lagos, and Stephanie Broussard.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. All right.
So, so 1, 2, so how, okay. Does, do you want to have a dialogue about this? Like, does that sound good to everyone? Obviously, that was the vote, but.
But what are we voting for those 3 now?
You want to do a second vote with the top 3?
How are we narrowing it down to 1?
Well, HS, okay, so I thought it was how many? So there were 4 votes, 3 votes, and 2 votes. And all the rest had 0. So it's not the one that had the most votes. You want to just narrow,
Oh.
okay, do you want to
Okay.
narrow it down from there? Yeah, or is that just?
Well, we could.
And everybody gets 1 vote. Everybody understands their 1 vote.
Okay.
Well, I mean, tell us again, who got the majority vote?
The studio.
Studio.
Yeah.
Studio. Well, there it is.
Are you good with that, or?
I think that'll be exciting to have the community
Yeah,
and
yes.
representation. I agree.
I think it could be really interesting.
I agree.
Sorry, I
Uh,
think I'm a little confused, but that's all.
Well, I'm happy, you know, this group can, if you want to,
Why don't we do 1 more vote with the top 3 and then see who shakes out?
does that sound good?
All
Okay,
right.
everybody gets 1 vote.
All right. So we have Stephanie Broussard, Carlos Lagos, and the studio. So raise your hand for Stephanie Broussard. Okay.
Wait, so can you say out loud, Shauna?
Yep. 1 for Shauna.
And that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carlos Lagos. Daryl and Sylvie. And the studio.
Studio still wins.
All right.
So, and then Carlos will be the backup, but what I do want to say about Carlos is he could be a really good fit for the juried art show at, the Fiesta.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, very good
I'd
point.
have to talk him into that.
Well, I mean, I think we need to talk to the whole group about what you know, who qualifies and who doesn't, because it's such a limited space. I don't know how you select, like, is it someone that's never shown at the Fiesta before? Is it someone that lives in Lakewood? How do you prioritize? So you'll have to get some criteria down,
Yeah.
which hasn't happened before, but, yeah,
Are the previous artists not returning?
that's up to your committee.
Oh, okay.
That's up to the committee.
So a date for the studio's art reception then for 2nd quarter is forthcoming.
So it's forthcoming.
Okay.
And I will get back to them and I'll get back to you. You know, it's something to think about that I was just thinking about the returning artists. Like, it's one thing if they're producing new art, but if they're showing the same art and haven't produced new art, that's also something to consider. If they're showing the same exact thing that they showed the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's not going to, that shouldn't work.
Right. So that might be something that you put in your criteria.
On the Korean art group that's the studio people that are gonna take 2nd quarter, you might want to approach Lua to get Asia Pacific on board with that.
Yeah, I talked to her about it today, to ask if she knew the director, and she said she believes their art curator does know them. But just in terms of advertising, is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but also maybe doing food.
Food.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Culturally.
Yummy.
Yeah. Thank you. See, it's all
And music.
always.
And
We can all make the dumplings now.
I'm hungry. That sounds great.
Sally, and music. Maybe do
Music, yes.
music selection in that genre.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that? Like we've had Maurice do jazz, every single one, practically except yours, because you had a contact. So do we want to talk about that and switch it up?
I say we switch it up.
I mean, he's gonna be here Monday, but
I say we switch it up and get some other artists to come in because there's so many musicians that would be happy to do it. I'm sure.
so that then everyone you can make recommendations for that to me.
Okay.
We look at our calendars for a good reception date for second quarter. We always do a Monday. So it'd be April. I would vote for April or May. June starts getting really busy. So they'll hang April 1st.
They'll hang April 1st.
Yeah, so they'll be here April, May, June.
So April 7th, we'll be home.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of our meetings, but we could do that.
14th.
Do you want to do it for our meeting on the 7th? But then you actually have to come. If it's a meeting date, you're obligated to come. So it's either that or city council the 3rd, so the 21st, so the 7th or the 21st.
So I'm out of town.
Any thoughts on the 7th or the 21st for the art reception?
Either one. Did someone say they were out of town?
Laura said she's out of town the 21st. I don't mind doing the
No, that's
7th.
The 7th would be
Let's
okay.
do the 7th.
That's great.
I'll try that as the first.
Okay.
That gives the subcommittees a little more time for just getting together,
Mm-hmm.
having their sideline meetings.
Yeah,
on
I love that.
projects.
April. Okay. Great job, everyone. Wow. Perfect.
Was it the 7th?
7th, April 7th. And they hang out first.
Is that it?
I think so. Unless anybody has anything else to bring up, I think
I have a question.
that is, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you done anything with, like the Lakewood, Theater?
No. That's, yeah,
That's a good possibility.
yes.
A number of, places that have theater like that. They have paintings on the wall that people can purchase and whatever.
We are meeting with the director.
Joseph?
They've done it in the past, in years past.
Yeah.
They bring art in and put it up on the wall.
And I've reached out to them a lot about doing things in the park and maybe now that he's settled in more, they can do more art in the park, be part of that. Cool. That'd be great to have someone from there on the committee.
Definitely.
Please, if you're here, remember to look at Rodney's art. And we do not have a meeting next month.
Oh, that's
So we'll see you in March.
Okay.
And I mean, I'll see you this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Monday.
It's Monday. It'll be really good food. Really good food.
Oh, that's really good.
So thanks, everyone.
All right.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, good night.
Good night.